healthiq.com/easy.
To save that much money, I'm going to call them right now. What's that link again? healthiq.com/easy?
Yep, healthiq.com/easy.
The following program is presented by Tracy Alston with New Mentality PC.
Hey, this is Tracy Alston with Mental Fitness Matters. This show is designed to provide people with tips, strategies, and solutions to improve your mental fitness. This is Mental Fitness Matters. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. You are listening to Mental Fitness Matters. I am your host, Tracy Alston, and this is WSIC Radio. Happy Thursday. I hope everybody's having an amazing week. It's going by so fast. Time just continues to fly. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but in Charlotte, North Carolina, we are going to be packed this weekend because we have Oprah coming to town on Saturday for her Oprah 2020 Vision, Your Life in Focus tour. It's a wellness tour that she kicked off at the beginning of this year. Oprah and a host of other celebrities like Lady Gaga, The Rock, J-Lo, Michelle Obama, Amy Schumer, Gayle King, and so many more are traveling across the country to put on a wellness tour. And that tour is designed to motivate, encourage, and inspire people to make 2020 a year where we are healthier and living our best lives. I'm just pumped. On this tour, she's going to be discussing her own wellness journey. And I think this is huge. I really think this is huge because I believe that the more positive attention we can give self-care, mental health, and overall wellness, the better. And when people like Oprah create events like this creates more opportunities for people to begin sharing and talking about the realities and the stressors that they are facing. And most importantly, it gives people a platform to discuss how they're overcoming and how they're continuing to push forward. So I was kind of checking out some of the first events that she's done so far. Her very first show for this wellness tour kickoff was in January this year, on the 4th of this month. And it was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And Lady Gaga was one of her guest speakers. And when I was watching back that interview, they were on stage. They had a very powerful and candid conversation. And for those of you who don't know, Lady Gaga, she is a Grammy Award-winning superstar. And she's recently opened up about her struggles with mental health and trauma and the trauma that she has been subjected to growing up. She says she suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, chronic pain. She was repeatedly raped at the age of 19. And she said she's been traumatized in a variety of ways throughout her career. And the biggest thing that she said when she was kind of telling that story, she said, I survived. I kept going. And she said she wants to erase the stigma around mental health. And she wants people to be encouraged to talk about and speak out and ask for help when they need it. So way to go, Oprah. Way to go, Lady Gaga. And the entire star-studded lineup that will be taking this wellness tour across the country. I'm just so excited about this movement because I really believe this is a big push for the mental health world and mental fitness world. The more we can get celebrities and people of influence to really begin to use their platform in a way that's shedding light on the mental health crisis that we face in America, because in case you didn't know, mental health is a crisis. I think the better. And I don't think you got to have a blue check by your name. You don't have to have 1 million followers or people following you. You got to know that you can be an influencer right where you are. We all have a platform. We all have a time and a place that we can share our story, share our message, and take somebody from point A to point B. So I'm just excited. So if you guys are in town this Saturday, January 18th, I think it kicks off about 9 a.m. and it goes to about 4:30. She will be at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. You can buy tickets online at Ticketmaster. One of the things that I saw, it's going to be a full-day event. They're going to have meditation. They're going to have food sponsored by Weight Watchers. It's going to be a lot of dancing and interaction. It's just going to be a good time for self-care. So if you can go, get your tickets, Ticketmaster.com. Oprah, I think she's going to be there for us. For Charlotte, it's going to be Amy Schumer. It's going to be her guest speaker. So I'm excited about that. And one of the things that she shared when I was listening to one of the shows she did with Lady Gaga, she said that she has a word for this year. And her word is purpose. That every action she takes and everything that she does will be purposeful. She said that she's learned to live from her spiritual core. She's learned to set the vision, live with intention, and allow everything that she does to move her in the direction of that. And that is what she wants to give her audience as a gift when she's coming out doing these tours. She wants to help people move from their core and really get in touch with yourself. She said the language that we feed ourselves and the language that we feed out and distribute to others is how we begin to define ourselves. Did you hear that? That's powerful, right? That's powerful. The language that we feed ourselves and the language that we feed out and distribute to others is then how we begin to define ourselves. I thought that was so true, and I thought that was so powerful. And that statement actually really inspired my topic for today and the question that I want to begin to kind of pose for our Mental Fitness Matters show today. I thought that was just a powerful message. We got to really begin to ask, what are we feeding our mind? What are we saying to ourselves on a daily basis, right? And really begin to recognize the power of your thoughts, the power of your words. And really, I want to teach you guys today. Today's topic is on how to harness your mind to set yourself up for success in every area of your life, not just one or two areas of your life. If you can really get a hold of your mindset and take control of what you're saying to yourself, there's nothing that you can't do. Okay, so let's get into it. But before we do, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to the Mental Fitness Matters show. I am your host, Tracy Alston. I also have a podcast. It's called Mental Fitness Matters. So if you guys are podcast listeners, the very first show I told you, if you're not a podcast listener, you have to start listening to podcasts. You can find the Mental Fitness Matters podcast on Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your podcast listening platform is. Go to Mental Fitness Matters, hit subscribe, leave some feedback. I would love for you guys to tune into this show. I will also be uploading these shows on that platform as well so that you will never miss the show, all right? You can also catch me at tracyalston.com. That's TracyAlston.com. If you're on that platform, please, 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 if you are an industry expert in the field of mental health, mental fitness, mental wellness, physical fitness, just wellness in general, a holistic practitioner, whatever your role is in your community or in your industry, if you would like to apply to be a guest on my show, feel free to go to tracyalston.com. You can apply there to be a guest on my show. I think it's really important that people hear from industry experts as well on ways to take care of our mental health and mental fitness. So you can do that there. And you can also, if you've been listening to the last 3 shows so far, if there's a topic that you want to hear more about and that you would like me to discuss, please go to tracyalston.com, submit a topic. I would love to kind of cover whatever it is, the questions that might be coming up. If I don't know the answers, we'll get the experts in to kind of talk about these conversations. I want to open up the conversations about mental health and mental fitness. All right, let's get to it. I am just excited about today's show. We're going to talk about, what are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your mind? The first thing I want you to just kind of think about, have you even ever thought about that in that way, right? Have you ever thought about what you're feeding your mind and what you're saying to yourself on a daily basis? And have you ever recognized that your thoughts have power? And that whatever you're saying to yourself on a daily basis, good or bad, right, has an impact on your overall performance, on how you feel, and how you perceive the world around you. So start to really connect with your thoughts having power and having an impact on how you perform. There's a very, very well-written article that we're going to actually be working from today by Elizabeth Scott. She's a writer for The Very Well Mind, and she talked about the toxic effects of negative self-talk. The toxic effects of negative self-talk. So believe it or not, your self-talk really does have an impact on your brain and your body. And she pointed out that we all have an inner critic, right? We all have this inner voice kind of going on. This inner voice can be helpful at times. It can be the thing that's pushing us forward. But she pointed out how this little voice can often become more harmful than helpful, particularly when it comes to the realm of excessive negativity or negative self-talk. Everyone experiences negative self-talk from time to time. So you got to know this is something that everyone has gone through. Everyone deals with negative self-talk from time to time. And it can show up in different forms, and it begins to create a lot of stress. So as we're driving this topic home today, I think it's important to recognize the power in that everybody kind of goes through this, but there is a power and an impact that your thoughts have that can take you from point A to point B, or that it can really pull you backwards. So when we're talking about the power of our thoughts, I think it's also important for you guys to know a little fact about our thoughts, and that we have about 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. We have between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot of thoughts, right? And our thoughts influence our actions. So that's a lot of chances for us to go backward, or go forward or stay still. We have between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day. And research shows that majority of our thoughts are the same thoughts that we had yesterday. They tend to be negative thoughts. They're either dwelling on the past or something bad that happened, or they're fearing that something could happen in the future, fear about what's coming, right? So think about that. If we have that many thoughts a day and the majority are tied to past thinking and negative thinking, that means we need to do a lot of mental training to keep our brain and mind focused forward and in a positive direction, right? Think about it. If we have that much of a tendency to go backwards into negative thinking or old patterns and old behaviors, things that didn't go well, we have to be deliberate and intentional about positive self-talk and pushing ourselves forward, because this is not something that our brain defaults to unless it becomes more of a habit, it becomes more of a practice and a routine, right? So if we're normally going back into these negative patterns and ruts, we have to create a practice around positive self-talk and the things that we're saying to ourselves, all right? So you got to know that negative self-talk can present itself in many forms, whether that's you just saying, I'm not good enough, I can't do this person's more qualified than I am for that position or that job, I'll never get that job, I don't have the skill set, I don't have the right tools, this person's better than me, whatever that is. Basically, negative self-talk is any inner dialogue you have with yourself that may be limiting your ability to believe in yourself and your own abilities to reach your potential. It is any thought that diminishes you and your ability to make positive changes in your life or your confidence in your ability to do so. So it can be stressful, and it can be that one thing that's stunting your success. Imagine that. What if your self-talk is the one thing that's keeping you from where you are right now through breaking through everything of your success, of your path that you're on? What if it's the one thing that's keeping you back from being truly successful in who you're called to be? Your thoughts and your thinking, okay? So think about that for a second. How many people out there right now, you have something that you want to start, you have something that you want to do, you have something that you want to try, you want to attempt, it's a dream or a vision inside of you, but you're afraid to give it a shot, right? You're mentally stuck. There's something reeling off in your head telling you that you're not good enough. There's so many people listening to me right now with a dream, with a vision, with a gift, with a desire, with a passion, with a purpose that's being killed every single day by the voice in your head, right? You have to know this. You have to begin to know that every single one of us is here with a specific and unique call on your life. And every single day, your inner person and your inner voice and that inner dialogue and that dream and your vision is being killed by you. I need you to hear that, because that really leads me to that next question. Whose voice is that? Whose voice is that? Seriously, you got to know that at the core, there are so many positive, good traits and characteristics about all of us. If you are beating yourself up with negative self-talk, doubt, criticism, I need you to know that's not your voice. That's not your voice. It's just not your voice. That may be the voice of a critical parent that you've had, a partner or a spouse, a coach, a bully from school, social media, a boss, a friend that should no longer be your friend, by the way. But that's not your voice. You've adopted that voice in your head a long time ago. Whenever you failed, whenever that dream didn't fall through, when that relationship didn't work out, when you were embarrassed from a performance that didn't go as you planned it to go, you adopted that voice along the way. You adopted that critical, self-defeating, lying voice, and it's time for you today to drop that off on the corner, all right? It's time for you to drop that off because it's no longer serving you. It's holding you back, and it's actually keeping you trapped. And it's killing your dreams. It's suffocating you. So what I want to do today is really begin to talk about how you begin to harness your mind, set yourself up for success. Let the spot in the brain that's telling you that you're not good enough, let that spot know that there's no longer a vacancy there. You're going to occupy that space in your brain with mental fitness training for 2020. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to get into the topic for today. You are listening to Mental Fitness Matters. I'm your host, Tracy Alston, and this is WSIC. Hey, hey, we are back. You are listening to the Mental Fitness Matters Show. I'm your host, Tracy Alston, and this is WSIC, and we are talking about self-talk, and I'm getting ready to get into how to harness your mind so you can begin to set yourself up for success. Before we went to break, we were just talking about negative self-talk and the impact that it has on the brain and the body, and really what you're saying to yourself could be the difference between where you are right now and really where you want to go. You could be stifling and suffocating your dreams. It's interesting. In my company's New Mentality and Mental Age Fitness Solutions, whether we're working on things in relation to mental health disorders or we're just looking at things in terms of mental fitness and mental performance, the baseline of everything that we are looking for with our clients focuses on the mind, focuses on the brain, mental perspective, because it really does control everything, okay? So the first thing I want to do is really help you guys understand that what you say to yourself matters. And we have to spend more time being intentional and saying good things to ourselves, because there's a lot of good things that you're already doing that you rarely give yourself credit for. A lot of times people go throughout their entire day and they never once stop to acknowledge things that are going well, things that they've been doing well at. Think about that for yourself. If you do a scroll back or scrolling through your day, kind of like you scroll through your text messages, you scroll through social media, if you can scroll back through your brain, I want you to assess right now the last 10 statements that you've said to yourself. The last 10 things that you've said to yourself, and I guarantee something in the list of that last 10 was probably critical. Something that you need to get done, something that you should have done better, something that you didn't quite perform as well as you had hoped. So if you actually scroll back through your self-talk dialogue, you'll probably find that you're saying things that maybe not be so helpful to your performance. And I want to help you kind of get out of that rut, okay? So let's go back to that article. I think the first thing I want to do is share a few suggestions that I believe are helpful from the article today, the one that Elizabeth Scott wrote on the toxic effects of negative self-talk. And then I'm going to share with you guys, as we have time, an online training course that I actually created around this very topic, because I know from firsthand experience in working in my companies, the impact of learning how to harness your mind and understanding the power and energy of your thoughts, how it pertains to really setting yourself up for success, and how to shift your perspective in a way that unlocks everything that you're trying to do, okay? So from the article first, one of the things that Elizabeth mentioned, a way to kind of really begin to combat this negative self-talk and this self-thinking, is to catch your critic. This is really about you becoming more mindful and aware that you're being critical of yourself. For example, when you're saying things to yourself, begin to really ask yourself, would you say that to a good friend or would you say that to a child? If you're speaking to yourself in a way that you would not speak to a good friend or to a child, that should give you a little bit of a step back to say, I need to reevaluate what I'm saying here, okay? So one of the things she says is catch your critic. Number 2, she also said, change negativity to neutrality. Change negativity to neutrality. She said, when engaging in negative self-talk, you may be able to catch yourself, but it sometimes can be difficult to force yourself to stop a train of thought in its track, right? So if you have a thought that's running down your brain 100 miles an hour, it may be really hard for you to stop that, right? Because it's already in motion. But she did give some really good advice. It's often far easier to change the intensity of your language. It's like, for example, if you're saying, I can't stand this, this can become, this is challenging for me. I hate can become, I don't prefer. So when the self-talk uses more of a gentle language, much of its negative power is muted as well. So you got to think about that. Remember, our thoughts have power. So if there's any way that we can begin to soften the language, soften the blow, that may be something that's helpful. So I love that idea by Elizabeth, because what she's beginning to talk about is the power and energy of our thoughts. And I have an online course that I created for you guys. If you go to tracyalston.com, that's TracyAlston.com, it's a course called Harnessing the Mind to Set Yourself Up for Success. And in that course, you're going to learn how to make the mental switch and overcome the obstacles in your life that are holding you back. Remember, what if I said that thing that's really keeping you from where you are right now, it's not the thing that you're faced with, but it's the thing that you're dealing with right here. It's mindset. It's being able to switch your brain on. I also talk about a very powerful state of the brain. I told you in my companies, we specialize in looking at brain activity, really helping people perform better mentally. I'm going to show you guys how to access what's called the alpha theta brainwave state. It's one of the most powerful states your brain can achieve when it comes to unlocking deeper intuition, creativity, and really that ability to really manifest anything that you're looking for. And so accessing alpha theta is something that everybody has access to. And if you learn how to do that, you can really harness that mindset and set yourself up for real success in your life. Get out of that mental block. I'm going to also teach you guys how to set healthy boundaries and protect your energy by increasing your awareness in what you're feeding your mind every single day. Remember what I said to you was, whose voice is that? Whose voice is that? That's not your voice. You got to know that you have to begin to protect your energy, protect your space, protect what you're feeding your mind, because everything that comes into your system, if it sits long enough, it will come out. And you will begin to believe this negative thoughts or these negative things that are not your truth. So I'm going to teach you how to really begin to protect your energy and protect your space. And then I want to help you recognize the power of positive energy and positive thoughts and harness that for your success. All right. So if you have a chance, go to tracyalston.com, TracyAlston. Check out that course. I also sent you guys to a free course last week called Breathe In, Mind On, where we talked about the power of breathing. Take that course first. Remember, I'm teaching you guys here a platform of learning for mental training. There is a method to the madness. And if you're looking for something quick, this is not it. There's nothing in life that you're going to get and really hold on to that's quick. There's no quick solution here. You got to know that your mental fitness, your mental wellness, this is a lifetime journey. So if you're signing up for a 1 or 2 day program, don't bother to sign up, right? This is something I want to help you guys commit to for the rest of your life. I want to give you tools that you can use on a daily basis to set yourself free. Everything we need is on the inside of us. Everything we need is on the inside of us. I'm going to teach you how to unlock that, okay? That is today's show. Next week, I will have a guest on the show. Her name is Lori Aldrich. She's the Director of Marketing for Trinity Oaks, which is a retirement community in Salisbury. So next week, guys, we're going to keep this mental fitness conversation wide open. The show next week is going to be At My Peak, In My Prime, mental fitness for seniors, right? We're going to start to talk about how seniors are staying mentally sharp, mentally fit. And just because we get older doesn't mean we have to have our brain go dormant, right? We can still stay sharp even into our older age. So guys, today's show was on harnessing your mind to set yourself up for success. The key takeaways that I want you to have here is what you say to yourself matters. You have power in your thinking. And if you can get control over your thoughts, you can harness your mindset and do anything that you want to do, okay? That is the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to Mental Fitness Matters. I'm your host, Tracy Alston. This is WSIC. Get out there and shine bright today. Light it up. Can't wait to see you next week. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us today on Mental Fitness Matters. Tune in every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. for more tips, tools, strategies, and solutions that will help you reach your peak mental fitness. My name is Tracy Alston, and you've been listening to Mental Fitness Matters.